Good morning. Welcome to Market Day Report. It's another week. We're so glad you're with us and glad you're allowing us to be a part of your morning. All right, let's jump in to see how markets are trading this morning. We'll start with the corn market in Chicago. That's where we trade corn, right? Well, it helps if I click on the corn market, right? Okay, penny higher on the December at 425. We're watching the March contract move in higher territory, but the deferreds are a bit lower here as we start the trade this morning. Let's go to soybeans. Almost same story, half penny higher on the January, $9.99, with the deferreds 1 to 2 3/4 cents lower. Interesting to note, flash sales reported overnight, 261,000 plus metric tons of beans going to Mexico, another 135,000 metric tons of cake and meal going to the Philippines, and 30,000 metric tons of oil to India. All right, let's go to the wheat market now. We'll start with Chicago. July, 578 3/4, up 8 3/4 cents. For hard red, July up 9 1/4, 578 1/4, and spring wheat, December contract 579 3/4. It's up 7 1/2. And our last stop, New York, where cotton futures still trading below 67, but 14 higher on the session at 66.94. All right, let's welcome in Tommy Grisafi. Tommy's with Advanced Trading in studio. Great to see you.
All right, come see you. I'm down here for the music awards, and I had the opportunity to take some clients to the some folks from up north to the Vikings-Titans game. I don't know if you were downtown yesterday, but it looked like a bunch of Vikings took over. They're a little drunk, yelling "Skol" everywhere because they won. You know how those guys roll. But good times down here.
Well, good. Now, let's talk markets for just a moment. We're seeing a rally in the wheat market. And normally when we see beneficial rains across the region, we might see some pressure in the markets. We're not seeing that today, though. What's happening in wheat?
We had a headline come out around noon yesterday talking about the ability to use American missiles to fire into Russia. Other countries might have gotten on that bandwagon. I actually thought we'd be up a bunch more in corn and wheat. Maybe we will be at the end of the day. The fact that we did pop, everything opened a little higher last night and then sold off. Beans were down 6, corn was down 1 1/2, but they're starting to come back. You know, Tony and viewers and listeners, that the markets we trade at night are nothing like the markets during the day. We could do all types of crazy stuff at night, and the real liquidity, the real players, the people, the hedge funds, the big money, they can't get in and out of the market like they can during the day. So what we do at night, oftentimes, then you see, of course, exports. We had a nice round of sales again today. So you digest that news, and they call it the biscuit break, the old biscuit break from 7:45 till 8:30. We're seeing a little buying, and rightfully so. It feels like grains are sold off. Unbelievable demand. I mean, everyone comes on the show and talks about how we have too much corn, wheat, and beans. We're selling a lot of corn to people, so that's really great news.
Yeah, and one of our big buyers has been Mexico. Okay, when it comes to Mexico, we sell oil to Mexico, and we buy oil from Mexico. What about West Texas Intermediate? Let's see if we can bring that up. And we're seeing a bit of a rally today. December at 68.21, up 119. Again, this rally in the WTI, is this related, again, back over to some issues maybe in the Middle East and just
I like
uncertainty?
how you said that. Some issues. Yeah, I've heard.
Some issues.
We could go with the drill, baby, drill. Some days when we're down, you say they're going to just go find energy everywhere. We have plenty of it. And then some days you say, wow, this thing could really get hot again here in the next few months. America's pretty vulnerable here with this time in November and December and coming into January as President Biden is definitely, relaxing his role. I mean, you don't ever relax, but he was traveling this weekend, and a lot of criticism for his trip overseas. The media didn't like where he was standing in the position. So America, we want us front and center. They had our President Joe Biden to the top right, and that didn't sit well with some people.
Well, let's talk about something that does sit well, and that's livestock futures. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Market Day Report continues after this. Welcome back to Market Day Report. Well, we do move some cattle last week. Cash cattle, about 185 in the south. And that was maybe a little higher than maybe the market thought. How's it reacting? Let's go to the live cattle futures right now in Chicago. Up $1.05 at $184. February 77 higher, 186.02. And over in the feeders lower on the front 2 months, including January at 247.20. That's down 2 pennies, but higher on the deferreds. And the hog market, not overnight, this morning, December at 80.20. That's up 70. And still watching that June contract, which did hit $100 last week, 97.57. It's up 45. Let's bring back in Tommy Grisafi with Advanced Trading. Okay, Tommy, looking at the livestock futures, what jumps out?
Well, we like that 100 price. People are told to be hedged and be aggressive, maybe buy LRP, because we don't know what the future looks like with our trading partners. A lot of things can happen here. We need good domestic use. I think we're seeing that. We're going to have a great Thanksgiving. I hope everyone consumes a lot of great American proteins. But moving forward with that, does the stock market hold? Is there volatility in the end of the year? Real quick, we didn't talk about it in the first segment, but I looked down at my phone at break, and gold was up 45. You're seeing some commodities get hot here. Would not surprise me to see anything here move. Look at you. I ask, and there it is. Gold up 40. What's it have to do with meats? It just means that money is involved in commodities, and commodities aren't done yet. I'm super optimistic about the future. That doesn't mean there won't be volatility. It just means the supply and demand and what we're doing. Grains could be a lot lower, but the demand came in. America's a great place to buy stuff. Hopefully that continues.
Yeah, that gold up 25.9 year to date. One that's outperforming it, 29.7% higher. Year to date, though, the November contract a little lower. Look at the strength in silver from December on. Again, just going back to your point.
Yeah, if you and I owned Bitcoin, we wouldn't be sitting here. We'd be sitting on a beach. But that one we'll have to work on.
Well, it, of course, depends on where you bought Bitcoin.
Oh, of course, right. There's still time to lose
money. And where
money.
you could sell Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Got to have a buyer, you got to have a seller. Speaking of buyers and sellers, do you buy Walt Disney? Not talking about the stock, but Walt Disney World. Have you ever been to Walt Disney World or Disneyland?
Yeah, I still own a fanny pack from it. It's pretty impressive.
Okay. By the way, today, happy birthday to Mickey.
Really?
Yeah, Mickey is 96 today.
That's awesome.
Didn't know that.
By the way, Minnie also has a birthday. Minnie is 96. Just so happens they were created on the same day, yeah. So anyway, there you go. Mickey and Minnie, happy 96th.
All right, well, very good. Yeah, now you make me want to take a trip to Disney World.
So next time you're in, I hope you'll wear your Mickey ears and your fanny pack.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate that update.